What's up, guys? My name's Cody, and this is another UFC betting breakdown. This time for UFC Fight Island 6, Brian Ortega versus Chan Sung Jung. And this is a pretty dope card. Definitely another sleeper card, but we've been seeing a lot lately that a lot of these low-key cards end up being some of the best cards we've had all year. So, some good fights. Looking forward to them. Last week, though, we did snap our profit streak. We had a 6-card profit streak going into last week, and we only lost like a unit or two. Largely due to Tom Aspinall coming through on us on a couple different bets. Pull these up. We did have Morales, who definitely did not have the greatest game plan. Just kind of stayed on the outside, kickboxed with Chookagian, which that didn't work out good for him. We had KB Bueller. That was definitely that was the play that it was just like the number I could not resist, knowing that Tom Breeze just doesn't show up sometimes. But hey, last weekend he showed up. So those were, two bad, one bad game plan, and then the other, hey, that was just a bad bet. Hey, sometimes that shit happens. Topuria, though, did come in for us as a nice underdog, and then we had Perez. Oh man, the whole fight, and it's crazy because the fight before Perez's fight, I'm talking. We did a live companion as always, but Randy Brown, UFC fighter, joined me again, and we were talking the fight before about how I just hate spinning back fists, spinning elbows. The only time spinning elbows at a higher level seem to I don't know, at least. So, I mean, they do work, but I just mean. The only time I'm not against them, honestly, is when people use them to on the separation of the clinch or something like that. But when people are just at striking distance or boxing range and they're just trying to leap in with these spinning attacks, at least with kicks, you could stay at a further range. But the spinning elbows and the spinning back fists, we were just talking the fight before going into that fight how much I hate them. Perez starts outclassing Duplessis. Man, I wasn't that impressed. I might sound salty because he knocked out, ended my bet. But, man, it was the whole fight. I was yep, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. And, I was feeling like a genius the entire time. And then what happens? Perez being it's he dresses like the clown. He fights a little bit like it too, man. He's just known to be a wild man, and I just felt like he got comfortable in there. The problem is his last knockout was with the spinning elbow, but that was just different. That dude is 6-5. I mean, that was 5 years ago, and he got a little too comfortable in there. Wanted to make another highlight reel, and man, he paid the price for it. He was winning the entire fight. He had Driscus in there looking lost, man. He really was controlling the entire fight, and then gets pressed up against the cage, goes for the spinning elbow, and oh my god, just gets turned off. So that sucked because I thought we were going to hit another underdog play there. That definitely hurt us. But thank God, Aspinall, I actually had him not only in 4 different parlays, he was my anchor of the night, him and Ulanbekov, but Aspinall, I separated my plays and took him because they had him. It was you only got 20 extra cents on the dollar by having KO in the first round than if you just had first round. So I separated it and just took Aspinall inside the first round plus 115 and Aspinall KO TKO straight up. So because I did think if he was going to submit him, it would be in the first round. If it got to the second round, he was going to knock him out. So it kind of covered me there, too, because I wasn't, Aspinall, he never really had to use it yet, but he is a black belt, I mean, we're going to have to see if he's a black belt or an actual black belt, but we haven't had to see it yet, but hey, I covered my ass with that, and also both cash, so ended up working out great. Aspinall cashed all 4 of those parlays for me, and then the KO and first round prop, so that covered my ass through this night because not only did KB and Morales and Perez fuck up, no disrespect, but then we had that Kutaleladze fight, man. I thought I was gonna coast into that parlay with Kelley, and then after Tony Kelley got it done, and then boom, that kick, man. We were looking pretty solid. I knew there was a good chance somebody was getting knocked out, like we talked about in the video, but and I did think that line was a little wide. That's why I didn't go hard on him. But I just do him in one parlay. But oof, man, yikes. Couldn't even be mad. I almost forgot the bet even happened, that I even had a bet with that when that kick landed, because I was so like, oh my god. Like, it took me like 30, and probably longer than that, like 2 minutes to be like, oh, yeah, I had money on him. Whoops, fuck. Luckily, though, Ulanbekov had he got the dub. Wasn't, didn't look like minus 400, but, he did get it done. And Sanhagen and Barboza both got it done for me too, which cashed 2 different parlays. So, overall a meh night. Cracked my win streak, but we had a 6-card win streak, profit streak going into that one. We're still, I think, 12-3. Yeah, 12-3. 15 cards since we started the YouTube channel. Shit, let's start another streak, man. I don't want to go on. I could talk all day about it, but let's look forward, because in this sport, you just gotta, sometimes that shit's gonna happen. Luckily, Aspinall covered our ass a little bit and started at Ulanbekov, and I guess you gotta give my boy Barboza and Tony Kelley credit, and Topuria, but that those props definitely helped us out big. But getting into this card, man, we're gonna start at the bottom as always. And I think this order I've been seeing it jumbled around a bunch of times, but we're going to start here. We got Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Mark Striegl, and this is a pretty good fight, man. Striegl getting his shot. He was supposed to actually fight, I think it was like July, August, but against Timur Valiev, who, that he broke my heart. I don't want to get into that, but he was in that fight where he was absolutely second, so any other ref would have stopped the fight. They let the fight continue. Then he gets stopped. That was crazy. Anyway, Striegl, man, submission specialist, man. Literally sub or bust a little bit with this guy. Which you would think, oh, that should be easy work for a Nurmagomedov. You see that name and you think, oh, well, this guy wants to grapple. Good. Well, Saeed's a little bit different, man. He honestly likes to strike. Likes to keep it at range. And actually, in his last fight, he really lost from the takedowns. I mean, the takedown at the end kind of solidified that third round and cost him the fight. And but I just don't think. I mean, Striegl does have, his wrestling, his grappling is solid, but the thing with him is he just slows down so much. If you go through, not only if you look at his topology, but I went and watched a couple of his fights, and I tried to watch the ones that did go a little bit later, and he really slows down. Like, he's one of these guys that just comes out. He wants to just, get right. Like, he just wants to immediately get that submission, and if he can, he just starts to slow down. If you look at a lot of these chokes, or a lot of these submissions here, they're first round. He has 14 submissions. Only 2 of them are in the second round. The other 12 are first round. And so he just goes out, and it's just, sub in that first round. Maybe he get, and even the 2 that went in the set that he got in the second round were the only 2 that he got in the second round were way early in his career. So. He's one of these guys that's just like Espinosa we bet on the other day, where it's he's really a guy where we hit that prop first round sub Espinosa, because, he's the guy that's literally I'm going to go out, try to submit you. If I can, I'm just going to try to hold on and survive to the end. He won't even, the submissions just don't, he's gonna slow down on even attempting them, because he's gonna be tired, and then even if he does, it's just he's not as sharp. His arms are burnt out by then. He's just kind of shooting, trying to stay on top, trying to get control. But I don't believe, I don't usually do this, but I don't think he has a single. Does he have a single TKO on his record? He might have one. No, 0. Yeah, 14 subs and then just the 4 decision wins. So, uh, this guy is, yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get that submission early on Nurmagomedov, I just feel like, Saeed's going to be able to pick him apart, stay at his range. Mark's probably going to take him down in the first round. It's just, Nurmagomedov, he is more of a striker, but you got to think, and I know everybody's been saying with Khabib's father out of the picture, rest in peace, that the camp could be a little bit looser. Maybe not. Maybe they don't have like Khabib's father to be cracking that whip, and people are pointing to that Zubaria fight, but I just think that, I mean, we've seen that from Zubaria in the past, and that wasn't a good performance. I don't think Saeed's gonna. I think he's coming in. They've been looking to fight, and like all of that camp, that entire camp has been looking to get fights quickly after that. I really think they're trying to get back to work. It's what their father would want. So and they're just one huge family. So I think Saeed's gonna he'll probably be able to edge out this decision. I don't think he'll finish Mark Striegl, but maybe if Mark gasses hard, then we could see a late finish. But most likely a decision, but from Saeed here. But I am gonna play that Mark Striegl, a little sprinkle in the first, a little sprinkle in the second, a slightly smaller sprinkle in the second, just to cover my ass. Because if he were to get a choke in the second, I would just be absolutely kicking my ass. But if it gets to the third, he's probably just going to be completely gassed, getting, just there's a different level between them when it comes on the feet. Mark's striking is just not all the way there yet. So it's going to be early sub or bust for Mark here. And I'm definitely going to play those props, but I'll probably have Saeed. This line is wide. I meant to mention that. He's a 4-1 favorite right now, so I'm not going to play him heavy. I'll probably throw him into a parlay and then cover my ass with that round 1 slightly small round 2 prop on the sub, and just try to win either way, because those are the 2 outcomes that I see here. And let's get into the next fight. This one is going to be fucking, I don't know. This got to be higher up on the card. There's no way. There's no way. So hopefully Tapology is just a little off here, because we got Gamrot Antigulov versus Maxim Grishin. And this fight is, I actually, my first bet, and I feel like the play of the night is on this fight. And Antigulov, man, I've heard a lot of crazy stuff about this guy. He's one of these guys that one of these Russians who, it says 33, but apparently this guy is 40 years old. And there's also pretty good evidence to show that he is literally missing an ACL in one of his knees, and he's on the 1.5 is only not cashed one time in his career, and it missed by seconds. This guy is literally, he has he has 3 minutes of fighting. He goes out there, he's gonna give one hard takedown, try to take you down, submit you, or pound you out. And if that does not work, he doesn't have the gas tank. His body physically cannot do this shit anymore, and he never really has been able to. He's never been he's just tough as nails, and he just goes out there and fucking gives 3 to 5 minutes of fighting. First, let me get into Maxim Grishin. He did make his debut recently, and I made a little money on that when he took Topuria in, and his debut at heavyweight. This guy just shouldn't have been fighting at heavyweight. He's a pretty big 205er, man. See, it says latest weight 223. But he is 6'3". No, he's a big 205er. He's got a big frame too. Especially you would think coming down from heavyweight, especially coming off that loss. I really feel like they're kind of okay, we gave you Topuria, that was his way to get in the UFC. Took this terrible matchup. now they're kind of throwing him a bone. Like, all you have to do is survive 3 minutes against Antigulov. Now, he is dangerous, man. Like, all of his wins. I'm doing it again. Sorry. Antigulov. Oh, God, you're going to make me spell it. He's went to decision, one time, right? I think one time, and he won it. Yeah, 15 submissions, 4 KOs, and he never lost a decision. And look at these: 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1, two, a couple twos. Like, so my first bet of the night, or for this card, and one of my most confident plays, and just I don't know. I just don't see how this line, like, is this a trap? I really feel like they're giving Maxim here, like, a spot where it's like, okay, survive 3 minutes and you're going to make a highlight reel. Like, you're going to finish this guy. He cannot fight for 15 minutes. He can't. So that being said, the safe route, because Antigulov is, now I like Maxim, and I do think he's better than that debut, but minus 380 is crazy. I think the real play here, if you want to do like Maxim first round or something like that, I understand that. But I think the real play here is minus 140, under 1.5. Like, it's only not cashed. It's cashed 26 of 27 times for this guy, man. I just don't. Or is it 25? It cashes every single fight. The under is cashing it's just a mathematics question, man. Like, yeah, look, this is the one other one that didn't go to decision, that didn't cash, missed by 5 seconds. So it's like, that's just a mathematics question, man. Like, this is the play of the night, and it's only minus 140. I put 2 units on this. For me, some people are a little bit more private with this, but I keep my units at $50. So this is a $100 play for me to get 171 back. I just think that's like all day. If you want to take Maxim in the first round, and I would even understand with these odds to take like Antigulov in the first round. But I feel like the safe bet is just taking the under, because I do feel like Maxim gets it done. But, Antigulov is dangerous, man. And, while it was a different level of opponent, a guy like twice Antigulov's size, but, Tybura is a legitimate heavyweight. So, it's going to be harder for Antigulov to, just take him down and control him like that, but it is possible. So if you want to cover your ass, I think the smart bet is the under 1.5. I think that's easy money, man. So that's my play for this fight. I am gonna throw Maxim in a little parlay with the similar mentality with Nurmagomedov. I feel like both of them win, but these are probably both of these lines are crazy. He's almost 4-1 himself. He's only slightly less juiced than Nurmagomedov, and that Nurmagomedov name is not helping the line at all. But in the first fight, I just feel like Nurmagomedov, if he doesn't get submitted in that first round or two, so you could sprinkle Mark Striegl for the submission, and then for this fight's not going 3 rounds. I'll be shocked. Come back and tell me I'm an idiot in the comments if it is, but I don't see it happening. Next up, we got Perez Ziam versus Jamie Mullarkey, and I like this fight too, man. This is gonna be a good one. I just feel like Mullarkey, man, here, this line has gone all over the place, and if you look through, Ziam has a couple decent wins. If you go through here, 21-8. 5-1, 4-0. But it's just not. If you go through and look, I just don't feel like he just doesn't have all the weapons Jamie has. He's just a better striker overall. The striking might be pretty close, but he held his own with Brad Riddell, and he showed in that fight that there was plenty of times for this dude to have an out. there was so many opportunities. Like Brad Riddell is proven. I mean, we saw with his last win. Yeah, he's only 9-1. He was only 6-1 when that fight happened. But if you watch that Alex De Silva fight or that Magomed Mustafa fight, this dude cracks. And yeah, these fights are going to decision. But like honestly, both of these could have been finishes, and this one could. Like all three of these fights, Brad Riddell has like looked great. His opponents are just like sticking in there and they're tough. Like I like Jamie Mullarkey, man. This dude's like I went and watched his last 4 or 5 fights, and I mean, I just feel like it's kind of similar now. Hey, it's similar to my breakdown with Omar Morales last week, and that one didn't go our way. But I just feel like he's just a better mixed martial artist, man. If he's gonna be the one, if anyone, shooting takedowns. If it goes to the ground, I feel like he has the grappling advantage. He's shown some pretty good elbows and ground and pound on the if he can get the takedown, decent control. And then yeah, I mean the dude's just tough as shit. He's got that that Brad Riddell fight. Like even in a loss, I always talk about that. Sometimes like he has. I mean yeah, and I meant to touch on that too. He did get knocked out by Alex Volkanovski, but it's like that's Alex Volkanovski, and I mean those are his only 2 finishes right there. I don't see that happening in this fight. I really feel like he can work his grappling. He can shoot. I don't think he's gonna go out there with a heavy grappling game plan. He'll probably mix it up, but hopefully he doesn't go out there like Morales did and just kickbox somebody who wants to kickbox. But you know, if he can get to his game plan a little bit more, I do think this line could be like a little bit further. I just feel like he's the better fighter. It's jumped all around. Like it's crazy. I don't know who's getting fired over at Bet Online because almost all these other books started him as a underdog or as a favorite, but he was like plus 220 over there on Bet Online, and it just immediately got shredded. So yeah, I just feel like Mullarkey here, man. He's the better mixed martial artist. I did get him at minus 110, and just pick 'em prices. There's a lot of tough spots in this card, but when I just wasn't like that impressed from Ziam, and I think Mullarkey's fought the tougher competition, and he just because of that experience advantage, and I've seen just better grappling out of him. I'm going to lean Jamie Mullarkey here, and I did get him at minus 110, like I said. So let's move on to the next one. This fight is going to be another banger, man. There's some bangers on this card for sure. You got Jun Young Park versus John Phillips, and most of y'all will probably know John Phillips by his fight with Hamza Chimaev, which I did bet on like a lot of people, and Hamzat was an anchor in my parlays that night. John Phillips, this dude is absolutely KO or bust. Like, there's a reason why he's getting all these opportunities in the UFC, even though he hasn't, been necessarily winning a ton of them fights. If you just go through these, I've been doing this a lot this card, sorry, but some of these are warranted. Win, overhand left. Punch, 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 punch. Guillotine choke, triangle. Okay, I see you. Win. Okay, it doesn't say all these, but these are just knockouts. All these are knockouts. Tapology, I don't know what you're doing with my boy John Phillips' profile, but check it. Oh, shit. Well, sorry, that's a very generic name. Yeah, the Welsh Wrecking Machine. Used to be the white Mike Tyson. Punch, punch, punch. They're all just knockouts. First round. Apparently knocked a guy out in 0 round. That's fucking lit. First round. This, even the losses are, and he has had some, he's fought some decent competition. Jack Marshman, Kevin Holland, Hamzat, obviously. He knocked out Charlie Ward. This guy just literally comes in, tries to knock you out. If it doesn't work, he probably gets submitted. That's why the UFC is going to give you so many opportunities when you're 1-4, because every single one. The Jack Marshman one went to decision, but like his fights are bangers, and if they're slower, it's not because of him. This dude literally just comes out and tries to knock your head off. Taking Jungyeon Park, I mean, I'm really like, this is another one where it's gonna really come down to the fight IQ. That loss to Anthony Hernandez by Anaconda does not look amazing on your record, but you know, that kind of snapped a little streak he had going. He did beat Marc-Andre Barriou. Marc-Andre, I mean. He's had some decent wins. I mean, hasn't fought like very tough opponents. I would say John Phillips. Well, it's not. I would say it's a fact. John Phillips has fought the tougher opponents. He has the experience. Obviously, more fights. He's fought better guys. But man, Park is just like, he's got better fight IQ. Man, he's gonna come out and he's not gonna try to. See, the thing is, if you're gonna lose to John Phillips, you're gonna come out and just bang with this guy. You're going to just fucking stand there and let somebody try to make a highlight reel. But I don't think Park is going to do that. They call him the Iron Turtle. You know, this guy is super durable. I don't feel like he's going to go out. John Phillips is going to crack that shit. I don't think he's going to trade with Phillips. I think he's going to be like cautious in that first round. He's going to work the takedowns. He's a much better grappler. And Phillips has showed, like, if you just take this guy down, like, he just doesn't really have an answer. I mean, obviously you saw a couple submissions on his record, but those are lower level guys, and he's just, you know, you got to be careful when you go too heavy on a minus 255 on a guy with half the fights and who hasn't fought like the greatest competition. But if we're talking like skills and who has like the more skills, who's the more talented mixed martial artist, like it's really, I don't feel like very close. It's Jungyeon Park. I like John Phillips. Dude has a spot still in the UFC for a reason because he's super exciting. And he can crack. I mean, if he wins, it's going to be not a fun night for you. He's going to turn your lights out. But, you know, if Park can survive the first round, he should probably be able to land some pretty easy takedowns. Some control, work a little ground and pound. I don't know if he'll be able to finish Phillips. Probably, nah. I mean, Phillips is a killer, be killed kind of guy, but I don't know if Park's going to be able to finish him. I could see this fight going to decision. Maybe that's a way you can get a better price on Park. But I'd be a little too scared considering how heavy Phillips goes. He could just blow his wad and be easy to finish in the third. So I'd probably be scared to play a prop. Probably going to be one where at least he's not juiced to minus. I mean, this would be completely, absolutely ridiculous if it was juiced to -4. Because at least Grisham and Saeed, like, those are, like, I mean, their opponents do have paths to victory, but I feel like they're more limited in that. Like, this one, at least, like, I can see why you may take the shot. I mean, you could be taking, if you're taking the shot on Gazmir or Striegl, it's kind of just a line spot. You can't look me in the eye and tell me you'd bet that straight. This is one you could look me in the eye and bet straight. He's got the experience. He's fought better guys. You could worry if Park's going to have, you know, going to be able to take. Phillips is a big boy himself. Like, he is pretty easy to take down, but, you know. I mean, it says here their height and reach is similar, but, you know, Phillips definitely, I'd like to see what kind of shape this guy goes in. He could come in, like, bellied up, but I don't know. We'll see. This is probably going to be one where I just go, man, again, like, this card is tough, man. All the people you want to bet are juiced a little too much, and I actually had I wish the Cyril Gane fight wouldn't have got pulled because I really I liked that fight. I think he was a little too that line was a little wide, but hey, we'll see if that gets rebooked. But yeah, this is a card where it's like you might just have to work a couple little small 2-man parlays with some favorites that you like, but man, a lot of these lines are too wide. Even this, like, minus 255, I feel like it should be, like, little closer, like minus 180. I don't know about minus 255. I get that the path of victory is obviously there when you're fighting John Phillips, but it's like I don't know how much you can trust Young Park to go there. Like I don't think he's gonna try to just trade with him. I really hope that he doesn't waste any time. I mean, you got to be careful with it, but at the same time, like he has to grapple. He does not want to just trade with Phillips. So I hope that he comes in and grapples. He has shown durability, but you got to be a little careful going too heavy on him in that fight. Moving into this next one though, Jillian Robertson versus Polyana Botelho, and man, Jillian Robertson is exciting to watch. She's definitely earned that nickname, the Savage, by coming in and literally looking for the finish every time. She kind of went viral a little bit, at least in the MMA community, when she was like trying to get a TKO on her record, and she kind of waited till the end to sink in the choke. After her corner was like yelling at her, like just telling her to, submit the girl already. But I don't know how much of that, obviously they could be blowing that up, but it was pretty cool. It's nice to see like a female fighter coming in there. There's obviously others. There is girls out there that, are known for finishing, but she's definitely up there with some of these UFC girls that, look to finish every fight. Because of that, some of these lines I feel like are a little crazy. Now, Polyana Botelho, first of all, I would say has, she's got good striking. She's shown, like, she's a finisher herself. She's got a good amount of TKOs on her record. I would say that she's got the better striking. She's got the height and reach on Jillian. Like, not a ton. I think, just they have it listed at 3 inches, 4 inches of reach. Nothing crazy. I mean, Jillian's not tiny for a flyweight, and I mean that can help her style anyway. She sometimes that height will work against you. She can get to your legs a little easier. You got them long legs, higher center of gravity, a little easier to take down. I know from personal experience. Them little meatballs, them little Ninja Turtles, dudes can wrestle, but yeah, I mean, Jillian's definitely, like, I do feel like if she gets her down, I mean, Polyana, she, besides, the old women's MMA armbar from guard, like, I could definitely see Jillian landing some good ground and pound, but I don't know. She's shown, obviously, that she could finish, but, if you go through Polyana's fights, the only time she got finished was Cynthia Calvillo, and man, Cynthia's a beast. Like, she's really, I like Jillian, but she hasn't proven herself to the level that Cynthia has. So it's like, is she on the level that Cynthia is to be able to finish Polyana? If she's not quite there yet, this could be a spot. Like, I don't love betting on women's MMA, until it gets to the absolute, like, the highest level. I hate saying the words like lower level in women's MMA. I'm talking UFC lower level. Like, they're fantastic fighters, but I don't love betting on it. It's just really like versatile. Crazy shit happens once they get their way to like once you get to that championship level. The Germains, the Hollies, like in those fights, the Amanda Nunez's. Yeah, I bet on those fights all the time. But until it gets there, it's like, because the experience is a little lower, like you see crazy favorites getting upsetted left and right. I usually really only like looking at like dog or pass in a lot of these lower level women's MMA. But I was looking at some of the lines. Fight goes the decision is plus 155 because both these girls have shown finishing ability, and also Jillian by decision is plus 385. Because I do lean Jillian, but it's like, do I want to? I could take a little risk because they all think that they're gonna she's gonna finish like plus 385. You could also just do fight goes the decision if you think Polyana has a pretty decent shot, and still you're getting plus money. So I mean plus 155 on a women's MMA fight to go to decision, not a bad look for sure. But overall, right now, I'm just gonna wait, and all those lines are only going up. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, maybe see weigh-ins. I mean, if anything, that line's only gonna get better. So I'm in no rush. But I am maybe looking at Jillian by decision, or fight goes to decision. Both these girls can finish, but I think that like these girls could just match up pretty well. And you know, if Jillian, I know she pushes for that finish every fight, but I do think she'll be smart enough to know that, like, I mean, I won't say to coast if she's up, but Pollyanna's pretty tough, and I think like unless Jillian can get her down quick when they're not sweaty and she's still got all her arms, all of her squeeze, it could be tough to submit her. So that's how I'm looking for this fight, and we'll see what it's like after the weigh-in and a little closer to the fight. Let's move on now to the next fight. Matus Gamrot taking on Kutaleladze. This is Matus 17-0, and then Guram, that's Hamzat's teammate, 11-2. This is gonna be a dope fight. One of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. Gamrot's also KSW champ. Coming in as a big favorite though, like 3-1 favorite. I think it's still right around there too. Yeah, about 3-1, 315 depending on where you're at on book, what book you're on. But man, this is gonna be a good fight, man. I like this Guram guy. They're giving him a tough matchup here. He's definitely super scrappy. Like this dude, I mean, he's a Georgian. These Georgian dudes, man, they're crazy tough. Like they're hard to bet against, and but so are these Polish dudes, man. Like I've seen Gamrot him get clipped with some pretty good shots. I don't want to say like hurt, but like he's pretty good at not taking a ton of damage. But like both these guys have shown durability. Both these guys are tough. They have no fucking quit in them. The thing is, man, Gamrot, like, I feel like he's kept that record because he's smart, man. Like, he uses his advantages. If you watch his fight, like, there's, like, his striking's not bad, but it's like he doesn't lean. He knows he has to lean on his strengths, man. Like, so many fighters, they get caught in the fight, or maybe they want to get that bonus. They want to, make an impression. There's a million reasons. A lot of times maybe they just like get caught in the fight, but Gamrot's really good at like staying to his strengths and like fighting smart. Man, he has a really good jab, and like his defense is really solid. I said I have seen him clipped, but it's not like he doesn't just get into wars, just firefights all the time. Like he's smart he wants to take you down. He's got good control. His takedowns are pretty solid. Like they're not like the prettiest takedowns in the world. They're not like, it's not like he's an Olympic level wrestler, but when you like, he gets motherfuckers down and then he controls them. And he's shown that he has like a good cardio. You've seen him gone 3 rounds plenty of times, 5 rounds plenty of times. I think he's won like 8 decisions. I think Guram's only lost by decision, I believe. Never been finished. He got knee barred once and lost a decision once. And actually, Gamrot has a couple leg locks, no knee bars, but I think he has like 2 heel hooks. Not saying that he's gonna come out here and heel hook Guram, but just throwing that out there. These guys are gonna size up pretty well. Gamrot did go down and actually fight at 145, but he was massive. That was like some KSW freak show shit. Nah, you could probably get away with that these days still, as long as you're not in California. But these guys are gonna size up pretty well. We'll see what they look like at the weigh-in. I do think 3-1. Man, these lines on this card, it's just because this is a tough card. Like, I'm not trying to keep repeating myself, but this is like one of those cards where it's like that because there's a lot of tough matchups, people are like they're like, okay, I think Gamrot's gonna win. I think Saeed's gonna win, and I think fucking Grisham's gonna win. They're parlaying these people, and they played them early. They fucking shredded the line early. Like a lot of these lines got crushed immediately. These lines, like almost all of the favorites on these should be like 100 less. Like, I don't think Gamrot's gonna come out here and just like completely like just take Guram down whenever he wants. He's gonna have the wrestling advantage. He's definitely gonna land a couple takedowns. I just I do think he has. This is only a 3-round fight. We've seen him go 5, but I think he should win this fight. It's his fight to lose, and he's one of these the fights on this or one of the 3-1. I'm saying like it's wide, and then as I'm talking about it, I'm like, well, I do feel like he should be a sizable favorite, but just like 3-1's a little crazy. Like 220, like I think Guram, man. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have the wrestling as like he's training apparently with Hamzat all these times, and they got a sizable size advantage. But I'm sure they're still grappling a good amount. Hamzat's probably helping him with his grappling. And all these time, and he's only 28. You would think like around all these badass Georgian wrestlers, your wrestling has got to be getting better. It's not like he's old. It's not like he's beat up or doesn't like he's never been finished with strikes. This dude, and he's still 28. Like he's not like past the point where he can learn and get better. So this is a tough fight, but I do feel like Gamrot is the rightful favorite, and Gamrot maybe by decision to get a better line or as a decent parlay piece. But it sucks. These lines aren't great this week. And let's move into the next one. This is a banger. Got Thomas Almeida taking on Jonathan Martinez, and man, Thomas Almeida, I remember, man, his record was insane. He was like 21-0 with 20 knockouts, 19 in the first round. Hold on. Insane. And then he met Cody Garbrandt, man. And yeah, he was a big favorite going into that fight. Got knocked out in the first round. That was crazy. And then took on Albert Morales, who really should not have been in there with him. Knocked him out. But then, you see, okay, he's 1-3 in his last 4. Yeah, against fucking Cody Garbrandt. Okay, Albert Morales. But Cody Garbrandt, Jimmy Rivera, and Rob Font, like, those are, Rob Font's a dark horse of the division. Jimmy Rivera is a beast. Like, he's still up there. He's still one of the best. He's really good. And, like, it's not like, he took him to decision. That's how Jimmy typically wins, but he's fucking really talented. So it's nothing to be too disappointed in. But so this is a bit of a step down for Thomas Almeida. The thing is, he's been off for 2 years. What is that? 2018 July. Yeah, I mean, shit. That's actually, damn. Whoa, hold on. Wow, yeah, it's like 2 years, 9 months. I actually didn't even realize that. I was thinking it was like just around like 2 years. Yeah, like 2 years, 9 months. Long layoff. I have been like looking at his Instagram. He looked shredded. He looked like good. He's been posting that shit like tells me a little something. You don't want to read too much into that, but when these dudes are like posting, obviously like if they're doing out a bunch of shit like partying and shit, okay, that's not good. But when it's just like in the gym, next day in the gym, like in the gym every day, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this dude's taking it seriously. He's also confident. Like sometimes when these guys go, unless they typically do that, when these guys go like MIA, now sometimes ends up, of course, you could say the other way, like, oh, well, he's just so focused. Yeah, that's good. But I don't know. It just says something to me about like their confidence when they're just putting themselves out there. Like, I'm going to win Saturday. I'll see how they like this and that. Thomas Almeida seems in shape, healthy, ready to go. The thing is, like, man, that 3-year layoff is tough, and and Jonathan Martinez is pretty legit. I mean, this is a huge step up for him and a huge step down for Almeida, but he did fuck up Frankie Saenz, and I mean, he should have in that matchup. Losing Andre Ewell, a lot of people are gonna give you shit to that. I actually am not as like I don't give as Andre Ewell the shit that everybody else does. I think he's a pretty solid fighter. Losing a split decision, which I thought he won. A lot of people thought he won. And then Ping Yang Liu, Wu Li, fucking Andre Sukumov. Losing Andre Sukumov, not great. I won't lie. And these guys, and Matt Schnell was an illegal knee. And a lot of these other guys, not the greatest competition, that's true. It's a step up for sure. But he's definitely has that, he's coming up. Almeida's coming down. MMA is a momentum sport, man. And momentum is huge. Confidence is huge. And Almeida, he just hasn't looked great. Obviously, it's the 3-year layoff. It's tough to come back from that. I do think he has a lot of advantages on the feet. Even though Jonathan Martinez has shown good striking, you got to say Almeida is going to be the quicker, going to be like the more sharp. Like his strikes are just, everything is so crisp, man. And you got to think the 3-year layoff should help him. I don't think either one of these guys are really going to come out and try to grapple a ton. It's probably going to be 15 minutes on the feet. Man, this is a close fight, man. This close. Like for me, it's tough to bet. I've been seeing like money coming in on Almeida too. I think it's a little bit wider than it was. No, I mean it's still around that area. Minus 140, minus 150 for Almeida. It's tough to bet that after 3 years. I mean, I see the advantage he has over Jonathan Martinez, but like I said, MMA is such a momentum sport. It's going to be a 15-minute fight on the feet, 90%, and I don't know, man. This is tough. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably going to be like a pass for now. Maybe a dog, maybe I look at the dog. I might have to see like what they look like on the way-in. But I like Martinez. I think he's like even though Almeida, I say he's coming down, like he's on the downswing. Martinez on the up, but Almeida's only 29. He's just one of those guys that just got like a ton of fights in and was just out there knocking everybody out, so he rose to the top quick. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough fight, man. These guys even match up good. Martinez a little bit taller, but Almeida a little bit longer reach. I don't know, man. This is gonna be tough. I'd probably say like dog or pass. Well, I mean, it's not like Almeida's a huge favorite. You could still obviously play that. It's just the three years off just scares me. And oh hell yeah, Domino's, appreciate that. Jesus. Yeah. So I don't have to look at weigh-ins for this one, but this is a tough fight, man. This is one of the closer fights in the card for me, in my opinion. So let's move on to the next fight. Ooh, another good one, man. I forgot about this one for a second. You got Claudio Silva and James Krause. This is going to be good, man. Claudio Silva, dude's he's 38. He's getting up there, but I don't know. This dude is a beast. I mean, his striking is not good. But his jiu-jitsu, world class. If you look at these at American Top Team, you got to hope the wrestling is getting a little bit better. But got some good wins on his record. I mean, Nordine Taleb, Danny Roberts, Cole Williams, Leon Edwards. Now, to be fair, that was a completely different Leon Edwards. Not that Leon Edwards of today would finish this guy probably pretty easily. But ton of submissions on here. Those bottom ones don't show, but Silva, he just comes out and it's definitely sub or bust. He's another one of these guys like Striegl. Does like his striking, if this stays on the feet, he does not have a chance. If I end up wrong there, come back to this video, leave me a comment, tell me I am so stupid. But if this fight plays out on the feet, he's going to get pieced up. James Krause is a beast, man. He doesn't have a ton of power, but everything he throws is very technical, man. He's known. Great cornerman, great coach. Like, great mind, like in the fight game, good fight IQ, and fight IQ is like how he. If you saw his Trevin Giles fight, man, I watched his interview like yesterday about how mad he is about the having a loss to Trevin Giles because he just feels like he's just better than him, just a better fighter, and it's hard to argue that. Like that might, if you just hear that caption, you might be like, oh, that's like fucked up. Like just take your loss. Nah, like if you listen to what he said, like it makes sense. Like he literally took that fight on a week notice, up a weight class. Trevin Giles is a big ass middleweight. James Krause is a guy who used to fight at lightweight, and it was like a week's notice, and that fight could have went either way, and that's because James Krause was just the much better fight IQ, man. He just had a great game plan. He just did he knew exactly where to engage, when not to engage, where not to engage, and you would think he would keep that IQ into this fight. Like obviously, there's fighters who I've done stuff like that, and then and then in other fights, especially like high level grapplers, it can go out the window. I don't feel like that's gonna happen here, man. He's a high level black belt himself. I mean, I don't want to say high level in the sense of, he's not on Claudio Silva's level when it comes to strict jiu-jitsu, but he's a hard guy to submit. It's been like 6 years since he's been submitted, I believe. Let me check. I don't want to just talk out of my ass. I believe. Yeah, he lost by. Oh, okay. Well, 3 years. Oh, that was the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, that's right. And before that, it was armbar. Yeah, Toby Amada, fucking 2010. Been doing this a long time. And Jesse Taylor, we know, was absolutely sauced up. I'm sorry, I like Jesse Taylor, but he was just sauced to the gills. Oh wow, what am I? But I just feel like, man, James Krause just that. Now I do agree, Claudio Silva should be undefeated, but he's so one-dimensional, and James Krause is such a high fight IQ. I was hoping people were gonna see that 14-1 and all the finishes, and they were gonna and Claudio, it was gonna be like even money or something, but James Krause turned into a pretty decent favorite, and I still do like him. I don't know if I like him enough for a parlay just because of that fucking, like, Claudio is a crazy finisher. Like, crazy shit does happen in his fights. And he came in and shit on parlays so many times already. People count this guy out because his striking's so rudimentary and his wrestling's not that great either. But, yeah, I lean James Krause. This is a tough one, though. Like, I haven't been able to pull the trigger on this. I wish I would have got James Krause when he was a little lower. It was like minus 140 or something. Might have even been like better than that. I was looking at it hard, and now it's like juiced to like minus 160 at the time. Oh no, yeah, it was like all the way down to like minus 115. Holy shit, yeah, that would have been a good bet. But I do lean James Krause, but this is tough. Let's see what they look like on the way at that weigh-in. Shit. Maybe we see, James Krause. It could be a decent live betting spot where after the first round, maybe he gives up a couple takedowns and people, that line gets a lot better, and then you just see James Krause coming in with, a little bit more. He wasn't able to get like a full training camp, but dude trains every day. He's training other fighters. I know there's a difference when it comes to fight shape, but it's not Trevin Giles style. He's had a little bit more notice, and yeah, man, I like James Krause here. You could wait till a live betting spot to get a better line. Maybe the line changes, but probably not. Probably going to keep creeping as people add him into some parlays. But I think that could be a little bit of a scary parlay pick. 3 more fights. Next fight, we got Modestas Bukauskas taking on Jimmy Crute. And, man, this is going to be good. Modestas, he's been looking pretty solid. They got him as a plus 280 underdog. And, honestly, I'm not surprised because Jimmy Crute's had a lot of hype coming into. He only lost that Misha Serkinov fight, which honestly was crazy for as long as it lasted. He actually, they had a crazy scramble, and Misha Serkinov, an absolute dude. This dude is a tank, man. I mean, getting submitted by him, nothing to. You can't beat yourself up over that, especially. I mean, while Serkinov doesn't have a ton of fights, like he's fought tough guys and looked great. And I mean, Jimmy Crute. The problem with him is like, I mean, his grappling is legit. He's gonna come out here and try to take Modestas down. He will probably take him down a couple times. The thing is, again, with him is the gas tank, and I like him. I do think that Modestas probably will have a bit of a striking advantage, but Jimmy is just someone who's gonna commit to that grappling, and I do think that while these guys match up pretty well against each other, Jimmy is probably gonna be able to take him down early, win the first round. And then I think Modestas wins the third round. It's just about like who wins the second round. And man, I don't know, because I don't know if Crute's gonna be able to finish him. I don't think he finishes him. I think Crute's gonna be able to take him down, but I don't think he's gonna be able to finish Modestas. I think this is a closer fight than this line. Like, man, this like the story of this card is like the right people are favorites, but they're all way higher than they should be. I mean, I've almost took the shot at Modestas here just because, like, I don't think you can really bet minus 350 against damn near anybody for Jimmy Crute. Like, he's a solid fighter, don't get me wrong, and I'm a fan. I like the guy. But, like, we've seen him gas. We haven't seen him, I mean, against his biggest step up, he got submitted in the first round, and it was a fun fight. It was good, but we haven't seen him. I don't know how we've seen minus 350 worth of work out of him yet. I haven't. So this for sure for me is dog or pass, and I've really been looking at playing this. I want to wait till weigh-ins. I'm also scared that Modestas gonna look. People are gonna see Modestas at the weigh-in, and they're gonna bet him, and I'm gonna miss my line. I really am tempted to take Modestas here because my plus 350, or I mean plus 300 is crazy. It just should not be this high. I feel like this is going to be a close fight, man. This is going to be a scrap. Like, I don't think Jimmy's going to get him out. Definitely not early. I don't see that happening. So it's probably going to get like a close decision. And I mean, I would lean Jimmy Crute, but not minus 350 at all. I wouldn't even pay like minus 200 on him, or at least minus like maybe like maybe a parlay, but like minus 350 is crazy. I can't do that. So if you want to take 11-1 Jimmy Crute, who has beat I mean Sam Alvey and Paul Craig, submitting Paul Craig is legit. Knocking out Sam Alvey's pretty legit. People shit on Sam Alvey, but he's tough. Olezekchik. This dude's pretty, he's not bad. But again, if he was minus 150, yes. But this is going to be a close fight, man. I think this is the sleeper fight of the night. When it comes to people are just writing this one off, like he's just going to go in there, take him down, dominate him. I don't see that happening. So, dog or pass on that one. I haven't taken it yet. I might be mad at myself later. And I am checking that line multiple times every day. Getting into this next one, though, we got Jessica Andrade taking on Chookagian. And this is going to be, man, this is a dope co-main event, honestly. Like, I've never really been super high on watching Chookagian fight because I'm sorry, like the finishing ability isn't really there a ton. She had a couple nice knee finishes, but overall, she's looking to pepper you and stick to the outside, he-yah, small Holly Holm, but with less finishing ability. But this is a fight where we've seen Jessica Andrade bounce around. She was fighting at 135, then she went down to 115. Now she's in the middle, 125. And, her last fight she took on Rose. She definitely was getting beat up a little bit for a while. Just basically in that first round, it looked exactly how Caitlin wants to fight. Just peppering her on the outside and just fucking Jessica didn't really have any answer. But in that third round, that pressure started to get to Rose. She started landing big shots, and at first when I looked at this fight, I was thinking, man, Jessica might just be able to just eat the shots that Caitlin's bringing, and just once she feels the power and realizes she's not really in a ton of danger, just put her forehead on her chest and land one over the top. I do think she could secure some takedowns here too. The thing is, man, I just don't know, if I can bet favorite money. I mean, at least the line's not crazy, but minus 135 on an 8-inch, at least probably. I don't know if 8 seems like a stretch. I feel like Jessica Andrade, she really 5, man. I figured she's 5'2". Regardless, 7-8 inch height advantage. Now, Caitlin doesn't have the longest arms. 66. I mean, that's decently long for 5'9". But I could see this is gonna be close, man. Unless Andrade lands the first round bomb, which I mean, lower likely. It's Caitlin's gonna be probably just landing twice the volume on the outside. Jessica has to either finish her or take her down and land big ground and pound, because she's gonna be getting completely out volume the entire fight. I don't see how on paper, if she doesn't land big punches, knock her down, or take her down, land big elbows on the ground, the numbers are gonna be crazy. Caitlin's gonna be hi-ya, oi, us, just fucking air punching from fucking 20 inches away, but the judges are gonna be scoring that shit, and she knows how to win decisions. And this is Jessica has fought a million girls that had a big height advantage on her, but Caitlin, this is how she likes to fight. She just wants to keep you on the outside, pepper you with a million strikes, 15 minutes of fucking volume, and then at the end of the night, she's landed 300 punches, you've landed 100, and that's it. So, I definitely lean, I won't say I definitely lean either way here, but this is actually one that's pretty close. But my thought was maybe take Chookagian as at decision or by decision to get a bit of a better line. If you're gonna take Chookagian, then you take her by decision, because she's not gonna finish Andrade. So let me see, Chookagian wins by decision at plus 155, plus 160. I mean, that's a pretty decent price, honestly, because, man, if Andrade has to land something big, whether it's on the elbows on the ground, big ground and pound, or a big overhand right, left hook, she has to land something big, knock her down on the feet, or take her down, land big elbows, because she's going to be getting out volume the entire fight. She's coming off a couple tough losses. I don't think her durability is in check at this point, in a bad way. I think her durability is gonna be okay. It's not that, especially against somebody who doesn't have a lot of power at all with Caitlin. But I don't know, man. I actually lean Caitlin here, and I think by decision gives you a pretty good number, so good price. So I think that's a pretty decent bet. I haven't made it myself yet, so clearly not that confident in it, but I do think it's pretty solid. So if I did lean Andrade early on in the week, so if you feel that way, I get it. It's a little tougher to play a prop if it's on Andrade, because it's a little you don't want to take the decision prop, because she's one of the girls, especially at lower weight classes, that has proven even at 115, she can put you out. She can crack. So I would lean Caitlin, go by decision, get a pretty good price. But it's a pretty tough fight, man. I don't know if I'm going to play it yet. And moving into this main event, this is going to be good, man. We got Brian Ortega and Chan Sung Jung, the Korean zombie. And it's going to be a 5-round fight. So none of that 3-round main event bullshit. This is going to be a good one, man. Brian Ortega coming off his first loss. Max Holloway. Took 2 years after that. And everybody's been waiting for him to come back. But, if you look through the numbers, he took 290-something significant strikes in that fight. That's more than Chan Sung Jung has taken in his entire 8-fight UFC career. So he needed at least a year off for sure. And I mean, everybody wants to see him fight, but honestly, that was probably best for his career. At least a year and some change, because that was like life-changing, career-changing damage in that fight. Now, I know Max, not all of those shots Max is trying to like take your head off, half damage, half power, but I mean, a lot of those shots were fucking big punches, and he was eating them on the chin, on the temple, and the face. It was a good doctor stoppage, saved him from himself in that fight, because that 5th round was going to get bad. But so that should help his durability. He is going in there against another slick striker. Not slick like Max, but has ton of power. A little bit more power probably than Max. Not as, doesn't have the footwork, doesn't have the slickness, and might not have the level cardio of Max, but his cardio checks out too, man. And the thing is, Brian's one of these guys that's losing a lot of these fights, and then it's like gets into those later rounds, and then that's when he steps up. That's when he gets better as the fight goes on, when a lot of people slow down. That was when he ran into Max. Max is the same way. He heats up as the fight goes on. So it's like, it's hard when you're waiting for that to happen against Max. It's tough. Thing is, Chan Sung Jung is pretty similar in the sense of he might not be on the level that they are in the sense of heating up as the fight goes on, but he doesn't fall off. He keeps that intensity pretty well. And the striking advantage is going to be there for Korean Zombie. Now, they both, he doesn't have a ton more fights, but he has fought the higher competition for longer. He does still have an experience advantage. He's the more active fighter. He's been getting in there looking great. That first round's going to be a little sketchy for Ortega after this long layoff. But, this is a close fight. The thing is, like I said, it's hard when you're looking at Brian, and he doesn't really have that, like, he's not going to be able to have that ace in the hole jiu-jitsu and not necessarily even cardio, but it's like cardio grit, and like as these guys start slowing down, that's when he looks to make his move, whether they get tired and shoot on him, or man, he's one of the few MMA fighters in the UFC that will pull guard. I mean, a lot of times it's into it, like, with a submission like that. I mean, he's got a sick guillotine, sick anacondas, dart. Like, he hasn't used the darts in the UFC, but just got a nice. Does he have any darts on his I don't think he has a professional darts, but I've seen him set it up with the anaconda, just a front headlock chokes. He's a beast there. But I just don't, man, it's hard against Chan Sung Jung. Like, he's a legit black belt himself. So it's hard when I feel like Chan Sung Jung has the striking advantage. Brian Ortega, not the best wrestling. Only averages less than a takedown a fight. Like I said, he's more like he wants you to shoot or he wants to pull guard. I think Chan Sung Jung's going to have the experience to not put himself in positions to let Brian Ortega pull guard, and then he's not going to shoot. He's just going to try to knock Ortega out. And but he's patient too. I mean, okay, he hasn't always showed that patience. He can be a little reckless at times, but his jiu-jitsu's so clean that I don't think Brian Ortega is going to be able to submit him. And then the striking advantage is going to be a little too much. So I got Korean Zombie. This is going to be a great main event, man. I'm excited to see Ortega back. I'm definitely excited to see Korean Zombie fight, as always. That's my boy. And, I mean, it's going to be a good fight. Like, I'm not sleeping on Ortega at all. He could definitely, even with it being Korean Zombie, somebody with such good jiu-jitsu, like, Ortega can latch that guillotine on anybody, and if he catches him in a spot in the clinch, it could definitely happen. He could definitely catch him. I just lean Chan Sung Jung to the jiu-jitsu's gonna be close enough where I don't think Ortega can submit him. I wouldn't leave it off the table, Korean Zombie, to get a submission on him. But I don't think either one of them submit each other. And I think Korean Zombie has the striking advantage to either get a late TKO or win the decision. The play for me on this fight is going to be the over 2.5. It's only minus 115, almost a pick 'em. And so let's get into my bets real quick. Now that we've talked about all the fights, it's going to be a great fight, man. I appreciate y'all. And let's just list off all these bets real quick. So I got, like I said, Brian Ortega, Chan Sung Jung in the main event, the 2.5, minus 115. And that's a 1-unit play. And then I also threw Chan Sung Jung in with Saeed Nurmagomedov, and a two-man parlay for almost even odds, 1 unit to win almost a unit. And then I threw in Jun Young Park in with Maxim Grishin, and a 1-unit play as well. And then I did hedge that bet with Mark Striegl, first round, at a 1/5 of a unit, and then I put a 1/10 of a unit on second round. Those are plus 1,400 for first round, so $100 gets you, or $100 gets you 1,400, and second round is plus 2,200. So as long that's really just covered my ass. I do think Saeed gets it done, but if Striegl is gonna win, it's gonna be by first round submission most likely. If not, maybe a second round submission. Like I said, 14 submissions, only 2 of them in the second round. So don't see that happening, but it could. I'm just covering my ass, and I do think in either way those happen, I'm profitable, so we good. And then I got the under 1.5, as I said, with Maxim Grishin and Antigulov, and that's a 2-unit play at minus 140. And then I have, Jamie Mullarkey at like minus 110. Minus 110. And that's a 1-unit play as well. And I'm still looking at a couple plays, man. Like I said, maybe the decision fight goes to decision in the Jillian Robinson fight, or just Jillian by decision. Still trying to decide, like I said, I like Gamrot. The line's a little wide. Maybe Gamrot by decision. I'm still looking at a couple plays. I want to see the weigh-ins for some of these. Like I said, Martinez, I think he is a live dog, but step down for Almeida. It's going to be tough. James Krause, another one. I lean towards him, but, the line's a little wide. And, Bukauskas, another live dog. That's a big dog, too. That line, minus 350 for Jimmy Crute, plus 300. Could be live. But those are my plays as of right now. Just the 2 parlays, the two submission props, and then the 2 unders for the Maxim Grishin, the Antigulov, Brian Ortega, or the over Brian Ortega, Chan Sung Jung. And those are my plays. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. I did make a new Twitter, which is where I talk all my MMA, and I always tweet out all my bets for free. So check me out over on Twitter. It's at Cody MMA. It'll be in the caption down there. I don't know if I'm going to get my old one back, but in the meantime, whatever. My Twitch is also down there. We went live with Randy Brown last week. I don't know if he's joining me this week, and I'll hit him up later, but I'll definitely be live on Twitch as always for the fights. So my Twitter and Twitch will be down there. Make sure you leave a sub and a like. I will thumbnail the video. I know you guys, or timestamp the video. Appreciate you guys. Leave a comment. I always respond to all of them. Let me know what bets you're making, or if you think I'm off on something, or if you have a lean on something, or you have some info, by all means, man. I love to hear it. So hit me up in the comments or on Twitter or some shit. Appreciate you guys. I will see y'all live for the fights on Saturday, and I'll be live every day. I'm live every day anyway, so come through, hang out. Appreciate you. And until then, peace.